Let me ask you something. Why is it that some people achieve whatever they want and others just seem to struggle? I used to think that this was just a myth, and I used to think that there was a difference between really highly successful people and myself. And the thing I learned about it, it was all not true. Like what they do, how they do it, all it came down to was just mindset. When I learned this, I had the biggest mindset shift I've ever had, because I learned that there's nothing different between me and the people that I want to be like, or the people that I aspire to be like, and the people I look up to. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Adnan. I'm a remote closer and sales director, and I've been doing this for over 5 years. I want to share 7 actual steps that you're going to be able to follow that I took that transformed my life, that you can transform your life right now, today. I want you to stick around to the very end, because the very end one is actually the one that changed everything for me and made the biggest impact, and I think it's going to help you with the biggest impact on your life. So first things first is embrace failure and look at it as feedback. Because here's the truth, every successful person you admire has been in the exact same position you're in, and they've tried and they've failed. And when I started remote sales, I was terrible at it. I suck. And every objection I would shut down, and I'd be like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. The day that I decided to actually flip the script and I went, I'm going to learn this, I'm going to double down, I'm going to focus on it, which is one of the other steps, which I'll share in just a second. I just was like, I am not going to give up. I'm going to make sure that this is going to work. And everything changed after that, because failure isn't the end. It's the beginning of growth. And that was the biggest growth curve for me when I embraced failure rather than feared it. The second thing was taking radical ownership. So most people love to blame others for their problems, and they absolutely love it. If it's always everyone else's fault, how can you take responsibility for the problem? In reality, I used to blame everyone else, and I could never take control of my life. And the day I decided to take ownership of my results and what I was going to do was the day I started to actually win. You have more power than you know. You just need to own it. So that's step number 2. Step number 3, consistency always beats talent. Here's a game-changing fact. The world does not reward the most talented, the most gifted. It rewards the most consistent and the people who show up the most, because those are the people who win. The thing is though, at first, I always want to be perfect. I always want to be the person who's like, I can do every single thing correctly and to the T, because that's what I was taught in school. If you don't get an A, you have failed. That was the thing I learned. And the thing that I learned after that was, if you just show up, you're winning. And perfectionism is a trap, but consistency is the key. And the thing I learned is discipline sets you free. So the more disciplined you are, the better things will be. Number 4 is invest in yourself. Here's a question. How much are you actually willing to invest in yourself? When I first got started, I only had $3,000 in the bank account. I spent all of that $3,000 on a mentorship. That mentorship was the thing that changed my whole entire life, because I surrounded myself with people that were better than me. I got in groups who were better than me. I upskilled myself, and the part that was most important is I felt more congruent. I was always saying I was going to do something, but I never actually did it. And the day I finally invested in myself was the day that my brain decided to go, he's actually doing it, so we better support him. I put myself in rooms with guys who were making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a month, not even a year, a month. And those guys made me feel so uncomfortable that I need to level up in those rooms. And now one of my best friends, he's making $1 million a month, and he's grown his business tremendously. And I've watched him go through the whole journey. And that was the most rewarding part. And I've helped him through that. And it's been the most rewarding part around that. Don't be afraid to bet on yourself, because when you invest in yourself, you can prove yourself right. Number 5, surround yourself with winners. You've heard it before. You're the average of the 5 people around you. And this is when you invest in yourself, you get into communities of people who you up your average. If you're around like-minded winners, your friends from grade school, your friends from primary school aren't going to be the people going to get you to where you want to go, unless they're executing as dangerously as you are. When I started, I made a consistent effort to surround myself around winners all the time. And again, my closest friend when I first got started was making $200K a month. He is now making $1 million a month. And the reason why he's doing that is because he surrounded himself with winners, and I surrounded myself around him, which got me to over $9.9 million in sales at 26. I couldn't believe when I actually got to that level, because I didn't think it was possible, and I didn't think I was able to do it. I didn't think I was the guy to do it. And the part that was most important is his confidence actually rubbed off on me, and I borrowed his confidence every single day to get to where I wanted to go. And that's what changed everything for me, because I just took his confidence and he imparted his wisdom on me, and that helped me level up a whole lot quicker, because I didn't have to learn it all myself. I just followed the breadcrumbs. So the most important takeaway out of that is choose the people around you wisely, because they will dictate where you're going to go. So be very mindful of that. Number 6 is focus on inputs, not outcomes. I used to obsess over hitting very specific goals, and I used to always hold myself to a really high standard, which put a lot of pressure on me. But here's what I learned. Winners only focus on what they can control, and that is the input. If you put the right input, you're going to get the right output. If you don't put the right input, you're not going to get the right output. So for example, when I'm waking up in the morning, I just go, how many calls can I take and how many people can I help? That is the input. And then as long as I have the right intention behind it, I will get to where I want to go and I'll help the right people. I focus on daily actions, which will result in consistent results. Here's the biggest lesson of them all. Stop waiting for the perfect time. It doesn't actually exist. When I got started in remote sales, I had zero confidence. I had zero preparation. I only had $3 grand in my bank, and all I did was use that to level up. I had to throw caution to the wind. I had to throw spaghetti at the wall, and something finally stuck. But I realized action creates clarity, and clarity creates confidence. I took action, which gave me more confidence. More confidence gave me more action, and then that equated me to getting faster and better results as I went. And the thing I learned, right, if you continue to wait till when you're ready, you'll never feel ready. And the thing that I learned was I didn't want to wait until I was 30, 40, 50 to get to where I wanted to go. I wanted to do it a whole heap earlier, because you can only have fun at one stage of your life, and that's when you're 20s. And so I wanted to have as much fun as I can, because that's the youngest I am. Those are 7 steps that I followed to get to over 9.9 million in sales, and this is how you're going to change your life too. So let's recap them. First one, embrace failure as feedback. Second one, take radical ownership. Third one, consistency beats talent. Fourth one, invest in yourself. Fifth one, surround yourself with winners. Sixth one, focus on inputs, not outcomes. Seventh one, act before you're ready. Now it's your turn. Which of these mindset shifts helped you the most? Comment below. And if you're ready to take control of your life, click the subscribe button, like this, and we'll see you in the next video. Talk to you soon.